And I dropped my phone, and it went all the way on the other side. Technical issues. That's what happens when you're in this new normal. Good afternoon. I'm Eric Knowles, president of the Miami-Dade Chamber, and we're here with our member connections. And before we get started, we'd like a word from our sponsor, Jackson Health Systems.
Hi, I'm Matthew Pinzer, the Chief Marketing Officer at Jackson Health System. We're proud to be partnering with the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce to bring you this video series. We hope that it helps you to find new business opportunities across our community, and we look forward to working with you as we move into a new year.
So today, I'm excited, as I normally am, when I have the opportunity to talk to our members, and this gentleman is no different. Kevin Michaels of Invizio. Kevin, good to see you. How are you?
I'm good, man. Happy Monday, Eric. How's it going?
I tell you, getting used to this new normal it's interesting. Everybody's Zooming, everybody is connecting via video. We haven't really been meeting. I guess we're starting to get out just a little. But how have you been?
I've been good, man. I think like everybody else, as you were saying, a little bit over the whole Zoom thing, right? Would really like to get back into real life and get out and interact with people, but this is what we're doing, connecting virtually, and that's how business is happening right now.
Right. And, well, Invizio, we're talking about connecting virtually. Before I go into Invizio, who is Invizio? Who is Kevin Michael? I like the folks know who you are as a person. You're in South Florida, but I know you're from one of those great islands in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Tell the folks who's Kevin Michael.
So just a little bit about myself, and I'll make it brief. So Kevin Michael, co-founder, managing partner of Invizio. I'm originally an Antigua and Barbuda native. I grew up on the Antigua side of things, so 2 islands, 1 country, if you're familiar with the Trinidad and Tobago type of model. I moved here to Miami in 2002 after sort of growing up in Antigua. So I moved here as a 17-year-old, started at the University of Miami in 2002 as a computer engineering major. So really my background is starting in engineering. I graduated eventually after 5 years at UM in IT and software engineering. So that was my eventual concentration. I did a second major in computer science while I was there. And I also had the opportunity to do a minor in CIS. So when I graduated from UM, I got cleared from 3 different schools with every IT computer degree that you could think of. Worked, in Motorola in Illinois for a while, moved back here in 2008 and started the company. So I've been back in Miami as a business person for the last 12, going on 13 years now. And, always been involved with the chamber. Been involved with the community in different ways, and excited to be here today.
Well, it's exciting, and I had the pleasure of visiting your beautiful island, Antigua Barbuda, a few years ago when I had a short stint with American Airlines, and it really is a beautiful island.
I didn't know that about you until recently, that you had worked for American.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because of September 11th, I had started just in '99, and unfortunately, because of September 11th, my department got shut down. I was the marketing director for the Caribbean, and had the opportunity to go to Antigua on several occasions. And who's it? Eric Clapton is one of the famous.
He has a rehab center in Antigua. Yeah. So whenever celebrities get a little too coked up,
they go down to Antigua.
Yeah. There was some interesting Bobby Brown Whitney Houston drama. If you go back a couple of years back, long story. We ain't gonna get into that today, though.
All right, so let's get let's get into Invizio. So let's how long have you been in business? That's a great story you tell about, your background as far as your education and going to the U and
Yep.
getting all of those degrees. So, and what made you decide to start Invizio?
That's a loaded question. There are a lot of different reasons. And I think I'm going to take it kind of back, right? So I grew up back to Antigua. So I grew up on the rural side of the island, right? So where I'm from, we're really a farming and fishing community, and my grandparents specifically ran a farm, right? And so when you think about that skill set, it is, if you grow it, you got to take it to the market and sell it. If you go fishing, you got to catch it. Same thing, you got to take it to the market and sell it. So my whole family, has kind of been in sales, if you think about it, just because they grew up on a farm. So as a child, I grew up on that same farm, learning some of that process, and have always been interested in business. And so when I graduated from the university, I had already had a few experiences while I was a teenager running like a small business, if you will. I used to sell greeting cards and postcards while I was at school. My freshman year of college, I used to hustle CDs. And basically, realizing the skill set that I had coming out of college, I had already interned for 3 summers with Motorola in Chicago, working in like a large engineering department, and just realized that sort of that path in corporate America was not something that I personally wanted to pursue. When you start seeing people celebrating their 20th and 25th years at a company, you're like, I don't know if that's me, right? So I got inspired to, I'd moved to Dallas after I graduated and working for Citibank. And while I was there, I was doing my MBA program, and I got inspired by a guy who was running at the time what you consider today a virtual video surveillance service as service business, right? So he had contracts with like Jack in the Box, where they had video cameras installed in these restaurants, and they would charge their Jack in the Box client per camera per month to be able to monitor that camera for them. And so I really got inspired by essentially recurring revenue business models and try to figure out what was available in IT that looked like it. And so in 2007, end of 2007, started working, putting together Invizio with my business partner, Kyle, who's my best friend from high school, and came up with, this IT service as a service model, what we call managed services, and moved back to Miami to start it in 2008.
Right. So when you talk about managed service, there's so many different moving parts when it comes to IT. So what are the products or the service that Invizio provides? Say, for instance, I'm starting a business. I'm opening whatever that might be, a retail shop or an office. So how does Invizio help me as a business person be better at what I am expected to do?
Yeah, so I like to think of what we do as the infrastructure, the foundation, the plumbing, so to speak, of your business, the hardware, right? That's what I like to think of it as. And so what we can provide to a business that is starting out is essentially providing them the basic or the foundational systems that they need. So in a physical space, you're talking about a network, cabling, computers, all the physical things that are needed for them to interact digitally, to be online, to have a network, to, whether it's print, share data, communicate with their customers. So we provide all of that base infrastructure, if you will, all the tech hardware that goes into the business. And we implement that for anyone who's opening up a new office, building a new facility, whatever the case is. And so, like as I mentioned, that may involve wireless, that may involve phones, that may involve computers, that may involve a whole host of hardware items. But as a managed service, what we become is your IT department, right? And so most small businesses are able to sort of make that initial investment and get up and running, but there's so many pieces to it that they need to manage on an ongoing basis, right? That the owner, the partner, the executive director, whoever that leader is of that organization, isn't going to spend the time or doesn't necessarily have the time to be working with their employee when, hey, my email isn't syncing and all of that. So what our managed services is a comprehensive, one flat rate, we manage all of your technology in your business for you. And when you have a problem, we take care of it as well.
Nor you say, they don't have the time, nor do they have the skills.
The skills, yeah. I mean, that's a big part of it too, right?
Right.
And so we take that off their plate. Our goal is to essentially, take that hassle of technology that sometimes can be a challenge for small business owners And my team and I, we're the ones who are handling that for you. And so if you have a question, a concern, a problem, we're there to support that business owner, support that operational team so that they can keep it moving, right? Because what happens when technology doesn't work as planned is that it may bring your business to a standstill. And so our goal is to minimize the occurrence of that. And also when there is a problem, to get you back up and running as quickly as possible so it doesn't impact your bottom line.
Right. So obviously, you know, we were talking about when we first came on this new normal. So how has the pandemic affected your business?
So the pandemic has been good for us in a lot of different ways, right? Because for many years, we've been talking to clients about cloud services and cloud technology, right? A lot of people had for many, many years always had their technology systems based in a physical location in their office. So that might be like a server or all the computers that they have. And so they're storing data in computers that are in an office. And now that the pandemic has forced everyone to work from home, they needed to put systems in place to be able to access and share and collaborate with that data no matter where they were. So for us, it really allowed us to move the conversation forward with a number of our clients who had delayed making those investments. And so we have shifted people from having on-premise or, you know, in-office systems to cloud-based systems, right? And that's been a tremendous impact. So that's everything from people who had, you know, were sharing files in the office, but now they needed to use a platform like Microsoft 365 or Google G Suite, Google Drive, to be able to collaborate on that data. We're talking about people who may have always had desktop computers, and now we're setting them up in what we call a cloud desktop, right? So you just simply log in, and it's as if you're sitting at a desk with your full computer that's fully controlled, fully secured by us. And so that allows the business to kind of keep it moving without having to worry about what's physically in an office.
A cloud desktop.
Yeah, you want me to get into that?
Break that one down again.
All right, so think about it, right? If you, on a regular day, you have a laptop or a computer in front of you, and all of the applications that are installed, Microsoft Word, Excel, if you're an accountant, QuickBooks, all those applications may be installed directly on that computer. Same thing goes for the data. All the Excel spreadsheets, the PDFs, all of that you have is on that physical device. And so if you were to lose that device, there goes your data, unless, of course, you're backed up, right? Okay. And so what a cloud desktop is essentially that same type of interface, that same process of logging into Windows or your Mac and getting access to your applications and data, except all of that is stored on a server that's being hosted in a data center somewhere, what we call the cloud, right? So that you can connect to it from anywhere, regardless of what actual device you have in front of you. So you could connect to it from your phone even. You could connect to it from your cousin's laptop that they brought over because they're visiting. You could connect to it from your home computer that you have and not the business computer, right? So essentially, it allows the business to be able to provide access to these applications and access to the company data without having to send that person a physical device in order to make that happen.
I got you. Okay.
Right?
That's why we need Invizio.
That's why you need Invizio. I mean, like it's not the fit for every business, but that is one solution that we've been implementing during the pandemic to help companies adapt to this new normal.
No, that's great. So I know you've been a member, you've been engaged with the chamber for quite a while. So why is it important to you that you be a member, and not just a member, a trustee of the chamber?
Okay. So it's important for me, Eric, and the reason why we've been members for many years, and as you alluded, we're now trustees, and we've made that investment into our Black Business Chamber because we see what we do every day as being an extension of our clients, right? And so in the same way, we see what we do and impact in our clients as an extension of the community. And so it's important to us as a Black business to be invested in our chamber so that we can help our fellow chamber members and other Black businesses in our community be successful, because this is one of the gaps that many small businesses have, and in particular, Black-owned businesses, right? The adaptation and use of digital tools, and also having technical or technology expertise behind them. So I joined the chamber and continue to invest in the chamber so that we can provide our perspective and provide assistance to the businesses that we see in our community.
Well, thank you so much. And we really appreciate the support that you continue to give. Before we go, is there anything last minute thoughts that you would like to share with our audience?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just drop a couple of thoughts here, and this is just for everyone's benefit. So particularly now that we're in this pandemic, right, there has been a significant uptick in the amount of cyber attacks that are being basically perpetrated against small businesses. And many of our businesses think we're too small to be affected by cyber attack. But in fact, there are countless stories of very small businesses experiencing financial fraud as a result of cyber attacks. So I would just simply say to the members, without getting into too much detail, if you're concerned about security for your business, definitely reach out to us. There are solutions available for companies of all sizes that can really mitigate your technology risk and help you protect what you've built and protect what you have and keep your company reputation where it needs to be.
That's awesome. So if someone wanted to get in touch with Invizio, how can they do that?
So there are a number of channels that you can reach out to us on. First, you can definitely give us a call anytime, 305-501-4783 is our main number. You can go to our website, invizio.com. You can also reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter. Handle is Invizio. On Instagram, it's Team Invizio. Definitely any one of the channels that you feel comfortable with, just reach out to us. We always provide essentially a free consultation to anyone who's interested in understanding what their technology needs or gaps may be. And so I'd be happy to talk to any members or anyone watching this cast to just kind of get them started.
Well, let me ask you this. In speaking about our membership, obviously we have members, obviously we're in Dade County. We have members that are Broward as well as Palm Beach. What about beyond Dade County, South Florida? Do you have customers that are outside of this three-county, tri-county area or even out of the state?
Right. So because of what we do, 90% of what we do is virtual, right? And so we do have customers that are based in South Florida that have offices all throughout the United States. We currently don't really have customers that are located or headquartered elsewhere, but it's something that is well within our capability to do. So definitely happy to talk to and help anyone, regardless of where they may find themselves.
That's awesome. So this has been Member Connections. We've had Mr. Kevin B. Michael with us from Invizio. Kevin, we really appreciate it. Just if you want to get in touch with the chamber, you can go to www.m-dcc.org, or you can call the chamber at 305-751-8648. Our mission is to create opportunities for economic and social transformation in our community. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.